Hello, dear Homypedia family. What if a home of only 400 square feet could feel cooler, calmer, and more generous than many houses twice its size? Today we're walking into a tiny hacienda designed around one quiet idea. A shaded courtyard at the center can change the way the whole home feels. Not by making the house larger on paper, but not by filling it with complicated systems, but by giving the home a place to breathe. From the outside, this little hacienda feels humble. The roofline is low, the walls are warm and simple. A wooden door sits slightly back from the sun, protected by a small overhang. There is nothing loud here, nothing trying too hard, but that restraint is part of the magic. At 400 square feet, every choice must matter. Every wall, every opening, every shaded corner has to work not only for beauty, but for comfort. At the heart of the home is a small courtyard, open to the sky, wrapped in lime-washed walls, terracotta floors, soft arches, plants, and the quiet sound of water. Suddenly, the little house no longer feels tight, it feels centered. The rooms do not seem to close in around you, they open toward light, air, and something living. This is why the home feels naturally cool. The courtyard creates shade where the afternoon sun would otherwise become heavy. The plants soften the air. The water gives the space a gentle freshness. The arched openings let rooms borrow breezes from one another. And the pale lime-washed walls keep the light gentle instead of harsh. So stay with me, because in this peaceful walkthrough, we will see how a compact 400 square foot tiny hacienda can feel cooler, calmer, and more generous than its size, simply by placing a beautiful courtyard where the heart of the home should be. We begin at the entrance because in a small home, the first few steps matter deeply. A 400 square foot home cannot depend on grand hallways or oversized rooms to create emotion. Instead, it must create an feeling immediately. Here, that feeling begins with shade. The doorway is slightly recessed so the sun does not strike it directly. A clay pot rests near the wall. The wood of the door feels aged but cared for, with a simple iron handle that gives the entrance a quiet, old-world weight. These small details prepare the body. Before you even enter, the home seems to say, "Step out of the heat, come slowly, there is calm inside." When the door opens, the first view is not a cramped living room, it's the courtyard. This is the most important design decision in the entire home. Instead of placing the courtyard as an afterthought outside, the hacienda makes it the center. The rooms gather around it like a family around a table. The courtyard itself is modest, perhaps only a small rectangle of open sky, but because it is framed carefully, it feels precious. Terracotta tiles cover the floor with warm clay tones. The walls are lime-washed, not glossy, so the light lands softly. A low bench sits in the shade. A few pots hold rosemary, lavender, olive, or a small citrus tree. Near one wall, a simple water basin catches the light. This is the first lesson. Small outdoor space can feel generous when it becomes the emotional center of the home. The courtyard is not just a place to look at, it is a place the house uses. It gives the living area light, it gives the kitchen air, it gives the bedroom a quiet view, and it gives the whole 400 square feet a sense of rhythm. The lime-washed walls are especially important. In a hot climate, bright surfaces can become harsh if they are too flat or shiny. Lime wash is different. It has depth, cloudiness, and tiny movement. It reflects light, but softly. It keeps the courtyard bright without making it glare. Visually, this makes the home feel cooler before the air even changes. The second lesson is shade. Notice how the courtyard does not expose everything to the sky equally. There may be an arch casting shadow over one corner, a narrow pergola above the bench, or climbing vines filtering the sun. This layered shade is what makes the space feel restful. It is not dark, it is protected. The light arrives in pieces, moving slowly across the floor as the day passes. This kind of shade also changes the rooms around the courtyard. When a doorway opens toward a shaded center, the air entering the room feels gentler than air coming from a hot open yard. The house is not fighting nature, it is editing it. It takes the useful parts of the day and softens the parts that feel too strong.
Now we step into the living area. In 400 square feet, the living room must be simple. A linen sofa, a small wooden table, perhaps a woven rug, and one comfortable chair are enough. But because the room opens toward the courtyard, it does not feel small in the usual way. The eye travels past the furniture, through the arch, and into the open air. That borrowed view becomes part of the room. This is one of the quiet secrets of courtyard living: privacy without heaviness. A window facing the street can make a small home feel exposed. A window facing a courtyard gives openness without losing shelter. You can sit with tea, read a book, listen to water, and still feel protected. For many people, that is a deeper kind of luxury than a large room. The third lesson is airflow. Look at the way the openings are placed. One door or arch faces the courtyard, while a smaller high window sits on another wall. Warm air can rise and leave. Cooler, shaded air can move through. Even if the home still uses modern cooling when needed, the architecture already helps reduce the feeling of heat. The plan itself is breathing.
The arches do more than create beauty. They slow the transition between spaces. A straight opening can feel abrupt, especially in a tiny home. An arch feels softer. It frames the courtyard like a picture and makes each room feel connected to the center. Next, we move into the kitchen. The kitchen is small, but it has a strong relationship with the courtyard. A plaster hood, handmade tile, open wood shelves, and a narrow stone counter create a sense of humble elegance. But the real luxury is the view. The cook is not facing a blank wall.
The kitchen opens toward plants, shade, and morning air. Imagine early morning here. The courtyard is still cool. The terracotta has not yet warmed under the sun. The herbs near the doorway release a soft scent. A cup of coffee sits on the counter. The small kitchen suddenly feels like part of a much larger daily ritual. Cooking, watering plants, opening doors, and sitting outside for breakfast all become one gentle movement. This is the fourth lesson. A tiny kitchen feels larger when it borrows life from outside. The courtyard becomes an extra room without needing more square footage. It is a breakfast corner, an herb garden, a light well, and a cooling pocket all at once. The terracotta floor continues from the courtyard toward the interior threshold. This continuity matters. When the material flows gently from one area to another, the home feels less divided. The eye does not stop at every doorway, it moves. And when the eye moves easily, the home feels calmer. Now, notice the water. It may be only a small fountain or basin, but its effect is emotional and sensory. The sound is soft enough not to dominate. It masks distant noise. It gives the courtyard a feeling of freshness. It catches light and reflects it back onto the wall. From the kitchen, we move toward the sleeping area. The bedroom does not need to be large, it needs to feel restful. The bed is placed so it receives indirect light from the courtyard, not the harsh full force of the sun. The bedding is breathable, perhaps linen or cotton in warm white or sand. A bedroom in a tiny home can feel enclosed if it has no connection to nature, but here the courtyard gives it companionship. A plant moves outside the opening, a shadow travels across the wall. In the afternoon, the room remains visually cool because the colors are soft and the light is filtered. By late afternoon, the courtyard becomes the most beautiful room in the house. The sun lowers, the walls turn warm, the terracotta deepens. The shaded corners feel even more inviting. A lantern near the arch begins to glow, and the same courtyard that cooled the home during the day now gives it a gentle evening soul. This is the fifth lesson. A good courtyard works all day. In the morning, it brings freshness. At noon, it gives shade. In the afternoon, it softens heat. In the evening, it becomes a private retreat. It is not a decorative feature. It is the daily rhythm of the home.
So why does this 400 square foot tiny hacienda feel cooler and calmer than its size suggests? Because it is not designed around more stuff. It is designed around a center. The shaded courtyard gives the home air. The lime-washed walls soften the light. The terracotta floor grounds the rooms with old-world warmth. The plants bring scent, movement, and life. The water gives the space a quiet sound, and the arched openings allow each room to feel connected without feeling exposed.
This is what makes the home generous, not luxury in the loud sense, but generosity in the way it treats the person living there. It offers a cool place to sit, a gentle view from the kitchen, a private patch of sky from the living room, a calm shadow near the bedroom, a little breeze moving through the day. And perhaps that is the most beautiful lesson of this tiny hacienda. Smallness does not have to feel like sacrifice. When a home is planned with care, 400 square feet can hold comfort, privacy, beauty, and peace. It can hold morning rituals, quiet afternoons, simple meals, and evenings under lantern light. If you have ever dreamed of a smaller home that still feels deeply comforting, maybe the answer is not to make every room larger. Maybe it is to give the home a heart, a shaded courtyard, a breathing space, a place where light, air, plants, and water can gather. If this tiny hacienda gave you one idea for your own home, please give this video a like, subscribe to Homypedia, and tell us in the comments, would you choose a courtyard for cooling, privacy, or beauty? Your answer may inspire our next peaceful home tour. Thank you for walking with us today.